Industrial Revolution by Alexandria Gallizioli, Billy Hanford, Wieser, and Emmanuel Montion.
Before the Industrial Revolution, many people had to work twice as hard and long because they did not have all the necessary technological advancements that we have today. Work was tedious, and many times slave and children had to be put into work. Eli Whitney, born in 1765, invented the cotton gin. This improved cotton production from 75,000 tons a year to over 1 million tons in 1850.
But it was not your fault but mine.
The cotton gin was a very simple invention. First, the cotton balls were put into the top of the machine. Next, you turn the handle, which turns the cotton through the wire teeth that combs out the seeds. Then the cotton is pulled out of the wire teeth and out of the cotton gin.
Before interchangeable parts, guns had to be handmade by a select person. This meant that if your gun broke, that you have to go to the exact merchant that you bought it from and get it repaired, or you have to go buy a whole new gun.
Your grace is wasted in your face, your boldness stands alone among the wreck.
Interchangeable parts made it easier for everyone to own their own gun because it became much cheaper to replace broken parts. You no longer had to go to a select person or shop to have it repaired. Interchangeable parts also could be made by less skilled workers and therefore were cheaper.
The power loom, invented by Edmund Cartwright in 1785, was much like the spinning jenny. Its purpose was to make spinning and weaving faster and easier for textile workers. While manual looms required a person to send the thread spools through by hand, power looms shot the threads through the weave by an automated timer. This decreased time and effort that had to be put into making textiles. In 1764, Hargreaves built what became known as a spinning jenny. The machine used 8 spindles, onto which the thread was spun from a corresponding set of rovings. By turning a single wheel, the operator could now spin 8 threads at once. This allowed for clothing and textiles to be made quicker, leading to a steadier and overall improved economy.
The mass production of pottery did many things that helped the English free up the lower classes to dream and produce. Pottery served as a luxury, which can be bought and enjoyed by both the lower classes and the higher classes. The reason why both high and low classes were able to enjoy the same luxury is because of this drop in prices due to the mass production of pottery. The prices dropped because of the technical advancements such as the power meter, which is used to keep the temperature of a kiln from exceeding a certain temperature so the pottery doesn't crack.
The porcelain biscuit was invented by Josiah Wedgwood in 1768, making circular pottery a much easier task. Britain was the first to obtain the luxury of pottery because they led pottery's worldwide industry. Steam engines powered all early locomotives, steamboats, and factories, therefore acting as a foundation of the mechanization of the Industrial Revolution. In this diagram, the crosshead is connected to a drive rod that connects to one of the 3 wheels for the train. The 3 wheels are connected via coupling rods, so they turn in unison. The following diagram shows the major components of a piston steam engine. You can see that the exhaust steam simply vents out into the air. It explains why they have to take on water at the station. The water is constantly being lost through the steam exhaust.
Steam engines in railroads and boats was a great example of mechanization in industry. It saved time and you could transport goods quicker.
James Watt, the creator of the steam engine, had a famous quote, "My responsibility is to follow the scriptures, which call upon us to occupy the land until Jesus returns." Steam engines not only progressed the world in railways, but in other areas as well. This includes, but was not limited to, the water frame, mining, and boats. In 1837, Samuel Morse created the original telegraph transmitter and receiver. The original Morse telegraph did not use a key and sounder. Instead, it was a device designed to print patterns at a distance. The transmitter, in front, had code slugs shaped in hills and valleys. These represented the more familiar dots and dashes of the Morse code. The patchboard was a way to send information through telegraph or telephone. The telephone was created by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876. The telephone was extremely important to the Industrial Revolution because it made it easier to communicate throughout the world, thus making the production of goods flow easy. Steel was one of the key pieces to the Industrial Revolution. With ideas such as Bessemer steel, many thousands of miles of railroad was able to be laid faster and much cheaper. Another innovation in the steelmaking industry was the use of coke. Iron was reduced or smelted with coke and limestone in a blast furnace. The cotton, textile, steam, railway, telephone, and steel industries all played a huge part in the mechanization of the Industrial Revolution. But more importantly, they have all played a role in the world we live in today.